Aw, baby, I love you. I love you, babe. Aw, thank you, darling. You're amazing. You're the best. You're incredible. I love you so much, baby. Thank you for being here. I'm gonna flex for my love. A little love flex. For you, baby. I love you. I love you, babe. Today's the last day of the antibacterials, my love. It's the last day of the antibacterials. I'm really happy about that. Aw, thank you, baby. Oh, baby, I love you. You're so sweet. I love you, baby. Thank you. Thank you. Watching nice animals. I always love looking at animals with you, baby. all over the world. Aw, great documentary. Thanks, baby. Aw, you're so sweet. Okay, baby. Thank you, baby. I love you, baby. I love you so much, baby. Crazy about you. Thank you, baby. I love you. Young Tony, what's up, brother? What's up, man? Well said, paraphrasing. What's up, brother? How are you, man? Nice. Très bien, mon ami. 4 hours? Wow, buddy. It's raining a lot here in Ottawa. Like, a lot. I wonder if it has anything to do with the, you know, the rain cloud farming that they're doing in Texas. You hear about that shit? They're like farming clowns and shit, and they like killed a bunch of people in Texas. Really sad. Yeah, well, apparently I saw on X. There was a report saying that they're clouding in Texas, and they did it like this past week, and it led to a bunch of floods in Texas, killed a bunch of people, and now the rains are just abnormally strong here. I mean, I'm not saying it's evidence of it, but it's just coincidence, you know. I mean, What's gone? I feel like what's gone? What? He would say that. He would. That is what he would say. I know. I was thinking about that word disease, and I was like, bro, that's such. It's like an. I would say it's like an illness, not a disease. But it can be a disease. Yeah, I would. It's gone. My illness is gone. Yeah. I'm looking good. I'm feeling good. I think today will be great. Like lifting weights right now will be amazing. It'll be excellent for me. Disease. I know what you mean though, dude. Disease. It's like accident versus injury. When you're talking, I learned all the legal language with my injury, which suggests and implies it's a long-term or permanent change, right, to the individual. Instead of just saying accident, you have to say injury. He would share the emote. He would share David Clemens's bicep emote, man. Dude, it's like, it's actually a Viatex, bro, man. And he would share the Kappa Ross too. Man. It's too real, dude. I think we might watch some Strain Hunters. I think is exactly what we're gonna watch. I want to see some lions though. I want to see some like supreme badass and like jaguars and shit. Cheetahs. Oh no, no baby cheetah. That's cute. Where's the lions? Yeah. Come on. I saw a video of a lion jumping up a wall. I don't know if it was real or fake. Is this it? This is the one. Bro. Dude. This fucking video is bro. This video, dude. Yo. That's fucked, man. That's so fucked. What the fuck? That video is crazy, man. That's crazy. That's really crazy. Do they have the stats? Did you listen to the Criminal Gangster rap version? I did, man. I did, brother. I listened to it yesterday, man. I did. Eventually on stream, I did. This video is crazy, man. What's the comments? Any no description has been added to this video. Bro. A male lion on average weighs 400 to 500 pounds? Really? Is that true? Adult male lion weigh. Holy fuck, man. Are you serious right now? Wow, I did not know that. That's absolutely terrifying. That high lifts his entire body weight. Like, is there anyone writing to see how high? Anyone estimate the height? Like, this is the craziest video I've ever seen. Is he okay? Yeah, my comment was that it was hard, man. It was a hard remix. Serious gangster shit, man. Let's watch this video again. This was insane. I'm gonna loop it. This is so crazy. Like no run up. Like what? Bro. So insane. That's crazy. That really blows my mind, man. Like I'm gonna pause it. You're gonna see. You're gonna see how high it. That looks like fucking like 10 feet at least. Maybe more. A conservative estimate is 10 feet. Because he's like already almost halfway. 5 feet. That could be like 8 to 12 feet. Lowest estimate is 8 feet. Maybe 7. Maybe. But this thing is like 400 pounds. So how tall is it? Let's Google how tall is a lion. How tall is the average male lion? 4 feet tall. Wow. That's crazy. That's really crazy. Alright, we're gonna start. He's like a 1,000 pound, 100,000. A lot of lions. Look at that. So 4 feet. Yeah, that's like 10 to 12 feet. It looks bigger than 8 feet. If he's 4 feet. Alright, we're gonna like, we might frame by frame this. Like for real. So if he's 4 feet. You could say up to like 12 feet. I don't know about 15, maybe 12. I would say 12. Dude, that's so fucked. Holy fuck. Yo. 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 You're so toast. Even if it just like wants to jump on you, even if you're just like standing in a field and you're trying to run it, like it can just run and jump on you. It's like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna do nothing. Like perfect form. He already has his hind leg on the... Wow. That was amazing. We'll watch one more time. And then we'll watch some strain hunters. That was really amazing. Yeah, cats and behavior. It'll crush you. Yeah, that's true too, eh? Like, what are you gonna do? And the claws? Like, the claws? You're fucked. amazing. Like, what would you do? That's why I'm terrified to like go out. I was gonna go. Man, I was actually going. I think I told you the story. I was gonna go. I was gonna rent a car with my friend in South Africa, in Johannesburg, and we were gonna go to the big national park there. But my friend canceled, and there was no way I was gonna do that alone. There's no way I'm gonna rent a car, drive it 3 hours alone into the wilderness of South Africa. So I couldn't do it. There's no way I could do it alone. Oh, I think Strain Hunters, they do copyright now. But whatever, man. I haven't watched Strain Hunters on here since fucking 2020. So I don't like cats.
It's a must. And then for no Ashanti.
The eyes.
For the mothers,
The reason we went to Jamaica is that, of course, Jamaica is
such a
country
good answer.
with a very, very big ganja history. It originates back to the slave time, where the slave run away from their white masters, from the sugar plantations, into the mountains, hiding in areas where there's natural spring, where they can grow, where they became completely self-supporting. We knew this in Jamaica, this history, so we decided also to show the diversity of the cannabis plant in Jamaica. So you have all kinds of different areas where different strain grows. So it's very interesting
Let's
for
get
people to
started,
see.
my friends.
Jamaica's a lovely, peaceful country, and
Let's pump
although
out
it
this
has a bad
bacteria.
reputation in some parts of the media, I found it very peaceful. Undoubtedly, there are one or two areas with crime, but for the most part, it's a beautiful, peaceful, and wonderful country.
Say we did not coach you, we don't want the chalice done. Orange will give me a flipping phone. Make Shanty bun a flipping clown. Some boy can't swim in a grandy, them a flipping zone. Then them a searching me with the can the flipping zone. Because we're in the flipping town. We're in the herbs, so the money with us a flipping round. The euro, the US and the flipping pound. Yeah, the officers flip and it's a must. Land of perception of Jamaica land. We love. Boy, yeah, boy. Yeah, man. Boy, yeah, boy. Shanty, they make you know, you know. Boy, yeah.
Jamaica is a very big island in the Caribbean. It's one of the biggest. It's very interesting to see how it's actually divided in two regions. The climate in Jamaica is very different in the east than it is in the west. The west part of the island is definitely a little bit drier, and it enjoys more sun overall in the year, while on the east part of the island it rains a lot more, and it's lush, it's green, it's a lot more tropical in a way.
If Jah be for us, tell me who can be against us. If Jah be for us, we will never be afraid. If Jah be for us, tell me who can be.
Oh, man, I don't know. It might be some time before I stream again. I gotta set up my life.
We are closer to the tropic than to the equator.
Yeah, how many degrees from the equator?
Thanks, brother.
15.
I don't know yet, I'll be honest. I'm just gonna stream when I can.
Keeps raving about. You guys have a great
Let's
pod,
get
by the
started.
way.
I'm gonna get started. Let's do it.
About is that because the sun
Thanks,
is one
brother.
of the,
Appreciate that. Appreciate you.
the sun is one of the main things on Orange Hill?
The place, I mean, sun, soil, temperature, water, the place, you know? The grower, the place, the genetics. If it comes together, you can see the result.
Vegan syrup.
Yeah, look how green,
And
huh?
they're really handling the equator or the tropics. So
Hey Simon, every artist, reggae Jamaican artist you could think about, big famous, they always talk about West. West always has
The
for
best.
centuries.
Oh, man.
They carry the title.
In the West, you can say the different way of growing there has a lot to do with the climate. You see that the ocean water is getting pushed through the rocks. It's a kind of cleaning system. And in the end, the plants get a lot of good minerals. They get a lot of air because they grow in this rocky area and they have this dry wind there. Look, it's really soft rock. Huh.
Amazing, amazing.
Every 2 days water. Every day. Whoa, what man? And also the reason of this white thing is that you keep the plant low, the roots don't shoot really deep in the ground because of the rock.
Chemical.
No chemical, so you don't you smoke organic wheat. Don't forget, all the pot all over the world is fertilized, gets this other taste, people don't flush it properly. Yeah. And now here you have original organic. And also look the space they use. You see that? Because you could put them much closer to each other, right? True. But he probably swaps the tires to another piece of the rock.
To get minerals and
then they play around in the same field. It also means you don't have to swap fields like this, huh?
The terrain doesn't get...
And the soil, with this iron in, is not...
Yeah, you can crumble it.
Because normally you wonder where's the air, but here apparently it's not a problem.
And as soon as the roots dig in the rock material, there's pockets of air like crazy.
Yeah. Perfect created microclimate thing here with for the plants. Fantastic.
Orange Hill is really a legend because it's known to be the place where the finest Jamaican grade comes from. When we went to Orange Hill, we saw probably the highest mix of external genetics that we ever encountered on the island during our trip.
Wow, this is a sweet purple. It's a flowery sweet purple. Normally purple hair plants are more soury, but this one is fruity.
You see that a lot of influences from Europe and America came in here the last 10 years. Frank and I found a lot of our own plants growing everywhere. You see a lot of plants coming from South America, growing everywhere.
And it was very interesting to see how by mixing 1 or 2 or 3 generations with the local pollen, all this variety has created amazing crossings. There were purple all over the place, and this purple was penetrating into the genes of the white widow, into the genes of the cushes and the train wrecks, creating an amazing array of varieties.
Chris, what we have here?
What you call an Orange Hill skunk.
Orange Hill skunk?
Yes, sir.
There's actually several strains around,
Yes.
We saw some purple, some kush.
Yes.
This is like 3-4 weeks in flowering. It has 3-4 weeks to go, and it's going to be amazing. The seeds sprout, and there's basically 12-12, so there's no growth time. They just go up, shoot flower.
You just grow the whole year around?
Non-stop.
Non-stop.
And them fi know a Shanti, representing earth in the smoke. Alright then.
Let me get this straight. The seawater goes through the rock, loses the salt, gets enriched with minerals, and gets pumped to the container. Respect. Yeah, I still taste a little salty, but not too much.
If it's cold, you can drink it. Even if it's warm, you can drink it. To me, I want some right now to fucking drink.
So we are here in one of the secrets of Orange Hills, the coral rock formations, very close to the oceans. And we always figured out why Orange Hill is the best in the West. Well, partly through the coral formation, the ocean pushes the water right through the rocks, comes down in all those caves. I'm going to show you a little. Beautiful water, a little brownish, and a little bit salt. Probably another trick for the growers here. They pump 2,000-3,000 liters an hour with a diesel pump, 200 liters to the field. Then it goes in a big container and goes to all the plants. So one of the secrets of Orange Hill. Ras, this purple one, huh? How many years you have those seeds?
We used to work with the 6-month weed first.
Yeah.
That's why I stepped to
Okay,
this
so you move from a 6-month strain now to
down to 8 week.
8 week.
Yeah. 2 months.
2 months.
So you cut next week, 1 week away.
Yes.
But these seeds, how long you have them? You have any how many years?
We never keep track of how long we keep.
Yeah.
The first seeds from Amsterdam, when did they came in this area? And the first real high grade, which year we're talking about? 1990 or 95? Or?
No, so not so long.
Not so long?
Newly, man. Fresh in the game
Fresh,
right now.
yeah.
Yeah, man, it's a new strain. As I say, where you say it come from?
So what you used to use before that strain?
Amsterdam. God, man, I guess.
The real purple, eh?
This is one we have two really special plants in. There you have a cross with the purple.
Yeah.
You don't see often purple anymore like he does now.
But this is really white widow with the purple on it. Yeah. It's incredible.
It's like 15% purple in this field. Like 1 on 6, 1 on 7?
Yeah, at least.
Mix.
Mix, eh?
All over.
How many years you have purple?
I'm just coming like this because I like it purple.
Yeah. Okay, so a long time you have them.
So when we are breed this strain,
Yeah.
we select them.
Yes.
Select for purple.
Yes.
Respect, dude.
Yeah, man. I like the boat to the world, you know. I want to them, man. Yeah, man, Shanti, you know. Represent, you know. Boy, yeah, boy. Yeah, man, just a little hot thing, boy, yeah, boy. Lightning ball, 600 balls. Taking them down, taking them down. Lightning ball, 600 balls. Taking them down. Lightning ball, 600 balls.
Full bright pink hair.
You see how intense that purple
It's
is?
incredible. It's neon. Neon.
Purple, no? Pink. You guys
Neon.
want pink?
Nah, it's purple.
That's
This one
colorblind.
is purple. This one is purple, but it's light purple. It's
It
fluor.
looks like a more fluorescent pink.
It's fluor. And the resin already on this one is ready. This one is finished.
Which area are we now? Markopin.
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 Right. Yeah.
This is the side of the most wanted.
Most wanted. That's famous because even in St. Vincent, you remember that little place? You
Yeah,
see
we
the
were in
poster?
St. Vincent. We
And in
found the
Amsterdam, we
poster.
have the posters called Most Wanted. You see all different strains on it.
Well, they have a good strain of water still. They have the same thing with Orange Hill water truck. They have the same way. Buy water from the water truck same way.
Yeah. You see when it was coming up, we see also a big pipe also, a big pipeline. So you know the water system more better.
Yeah, sure.
Now this community.
Sure. When you drive up here, your cars stay like this coming up, so they really up on a high climate.
Sure.
So they have a good growth here too.
Yeah, because you look to the other side, you see everywhere
Fields,
full,
eh? All the way fields.
So how does helicopters do that? They just land in the field?
They gotta strap down from rope.
They strap down?
Yeah, but from rope and just jump down on the rope, come through and they start chopping and burning. When they get up, when they know where a field is actually at, they send choppers there, just drop down the troops them, chop down and burn down.
They just burn it down,
Yeah, burn it out.
troops out of the helicopter.
Yeah.
So me say puff, puff, puff and pass. Where we want enough grass. Seriously the herbs don't cause you must cough. Weed make we happy so we bust a weed laugh. Weed fi stack up in at the bus just pass. Beast could have preach through the telescope glass. Me a smoke weed for lunch, drink tea for breakfast. Brains a take off just like a spacecraft. No weed, he makes me airport that. Hey, strange hunter.
Yeah.
You said nothing, you know.
Respect.
Yeah, man. Mark up pen with there, you know. Highest grade.
Hey.
Especially if you're really stoned, no? You go really into these plants. You say, what? You know, like,
As you're
you know? You see all these different phenotypes. You see the. You lie, you stoned too, Chris.
No.
You've been smoking too much gum, man.
No, what you said, right? It's like when you want this shit and you look at this plant, you go to a different dimension. You see all type of different motherfucking colors. You start smoking your own self. I'm like, wow, this is fucking gold. This is fucking. You just, you know, like every time you look at it, it's a different. What the fuck? Oh, fuck,
Live in Jamaica.
Live in Jamaica.
Sometimes in life, you gotta fight for what is right. All times in life, you have to walk with confidence by your side.
This one
In
came
this
from.
great life.
Whoa. That's a dry house. Whoa, man.
That's all the weed that came from that field that we saw 2 months ago. The field
Yeah.
we were just... Incredible, huh? Wow. This is Most Wanted.
Yes, sir. You have a lot of gentlemen will come from there here and buy at a cheaper rate.
Yeah.
Get back down there
Yeah.
and put 3-4 grand on the weed. They do that for years.
Oh, yeah?
Years, they always come here and buy it for a cheaper rate. Get back in the ground and add a 2-3 grand onto the weed.
How much is here?
About 100 to 200. About
100 to 200,
170 to 200.
Everybody talks about this is really high-grade Jamaican. They don't even realize it comes from Europe before, from the Americans, you know? High-grade Jamaican, this is what all they want.
I travel all over the place. And every time I travel, I gotta carry me even if a split of this blood clot weed. I'm not gonna carry that. Yo, anyway you see me in Jamaica, but yo, I this me smoke on Orange Hill. Remember me tell you?
Most Wanted.
Most Wanted Jamaica 2011. We don't care about time, we care about quality.
Yes, but, hey Frank, you look really fucking happy. Like a spoiled brat. Like a spoiled brat.
Yeah, man, the pagan them so we not gonna make it, you know. But still says to overcome, come on. Come we go chant on Babylon one more time. Selassie, alright. Come we go chant on Babylon one more time. Yeah. Come we go chant on Babylon one more time. Selassie, alright.
The only thing that we find that within Jamaica there is a trickery that went on in 1962 where these two political tricksters went to England and signed for their own political freedom to kill the people. For 1963 we see the Prime Minister send out all his armies and forces to kill the people in Coral Garden in St. James. We know that the Coral Garden massacre. He was saying, kill Rastas, kill Rastas. What did Rasta do? Rasta never take arms against the government, the people, no one in Jamaica. Teach a man to fish, you feed him for life. If you give him a fish, you only feed him for the night. So that's life. You know, we need sustainability. Jamaica is the richest country in the world. And you see, they have the poorest people.
How many farmers you think depend on this here in Jamaica?
This area?
No, in the whole Jamaica. You have any idea? There's 2.7 million people on ganja.
Well, listen to me now. Jamaica, you see, if you read the statistics, they tell you that unemployment is above 20%. And when you take a check, you see, that unemployment figure, that employed figure, is also farmers with the farm planting ganja just the same. So you see, all those other 20%, 99% of them have to be here in the farm planting ganja.
Otherwise they wouldn't survive.
They wouldn't survive. They have to depend on this. The big politician, they are the hypocrite. That's why they keep it like this. They want to continue making money from it. And the poor people make nothing. When the police come and take it, the police go back and sell it. It's a business where they continue to keep the people poor and poverty.
We think there's a few 100 million people around the equator in the world that depend the children to the school,
the crop that can save planet Earth.
Yeah.
This is some herbal tea made from the ganja plant.
Wow.
Yeah, so what the most
really
potent
particular.
plant. It has a lot of medicinal values that we know from our ancestors till this time. They used to use it for different ailments. So it's a tradition we continue in this time to drink herbal tea from the gourd.
What other medicinal purposes it has these days that people use it in Jamaica?
For asthmatic cures, bronchitis, glaucoma.
I can use some of that, man.
Sinusitis.
Sinus, yeah?
Yes.
It's good for putting pillows.
Yes.
For breathing.
And every home in Jamaica has a bottle with some white rum, green ganja and pimento as your first aid medicine.
Pimiento.
Pimento berries and ginger. And it's one of the first aid medicine for all homes in Jamaica.
What about the rest for life, you know, like the spiritual part? How do you guys work with that here in the mountains?
It is like our sacrament that we use for our own meditation, and also a teacher for the plants actually as a spirit that talks, that reach out to you if you know how to reach out to the plants. They teaches and soothe and heal the spirit and the soul of man.
How often you meditate?
Every right through the day.
Right through the day.
Special time.
No special time. It's very, very interesting to see that already our great-great-grandmothers and fathers were using cannabis as a medicine. We know that before 1930, 80% of world's medicine was a direct derivative of a cannabis plant or an extraction of a cannabis plant before the 1930s. And still in the local communities where they have absolutely no money to buy medicine, like in the area of Ishpin, where the people completely depend on their local organic farmer. They use cannabis as a medicine for children and elderly.
Yo, that means a lot, dude. I appreciate that. That is, and that's helpful too, brother. How are you, man?
This is an all-purpose medicine, you know. Like if you have all a spirit, simple, you come in and you get all wet, and you feel all cold in some cold weather.
Like
you just come in and take a cork out of you and sip lick up on your tongue, and you use the rest of it and rub it your body.
How long you have to fermentate it with the berries and with the marijuana before you use it?
No, sometimes, like that one is about 1 year old.
1 year old?
Yeah.
Can we take a sip?
Yeah, man, it's a great thing to have a sip, man. Not like that, Franco. You take a cock, you can't take surplus.
Let's see it go down. Under the tongue.
They also use it for small children?
Yeah.
What kind of
Like
problems?
if the small children have cold, like a baby have cold, have flu, you just use it and rub him up and wrap him up in a sheet and him is alright.
And if they have cramps?
If you have belly cramps, I eat that.
Yeah.
You see? And the children them still can't drink it, you know, but you give them a small amount.
So I have a
It's
cell
not a
phone
thing when you're
with
sick,
data
you have to be sick.
in China, but I haven't paid the bill for like 3 months,
Man, it's
so
strong, eh? Strong stuff.
I don't know if that's gonna work immediately when I arrive. I don't know if I'm gonna have to like cancel my account. I don't know if I pay like a huge amount the last 3 months.
Maybe
Some shit's
90%.
gonna happen.
What's in it?
So I'm gonna try to resolve that as fast as I
It's
can.
action
So I can
turbo.
stream.
In
I'll stream
Italy, action
wireless.
turbo is the same stuff. It's incredible.
If I have wireless internet, I can
Another
stream.
one.
I need to cool down.
But I'm gonna be in a hotel
Yeah, man.
maybe.
What is in here?
Yeah.
Rooney.
Might be like a week. But we'll do our best.
What the fuck you guys throwing? Whoa!
Ooh, that's made me
Yeah,
scared.
might be a
you
week,
have to
but
take it.
I'm doing
This one is
best
good
to
for back. This
For
one
your
is
back?
Cancer.
Cancer?
Prostate cancer. Prostate cancer.
Frustrating.
Yeah,
Or prostate?
Yeah, cancer. This one good, very good for it.
And this one?
This one good for cancer. In pain. In asthma. Rheumatism. Cramp. Everything. Your eye. Noni. Very good.
You have one for sex also?
You will stop.
If you're like...
You will stop. You will stop. You make you overdo.
Yeah?
Yeah. 2 over 3 hours.
Where's the bottle?
We soon can. Yeah, man. Special one, man. See there.
So how long you live in this area? You have all beautiful coconut, papayas.
Yeah. I will live here for 56 years old.
56 years?
Yeah.
How old are you?
56.
You're 50, you're born here?
Yeah.
In this house?
Yes, right in this house.
Really?
That house here.
And you smoke every day the chalice?
Yes.
Only the chalice.
Only the chalice, nothing else?
Chalice is the fire.
Charas in Jamaica.
In Jamaica.
How many grams a day you can make?
200.
What, with the hands?
Yeah, with the hand.
200 grams?
The sun is very hot. Yeah, we make up to 200 grams per day. The sun.
And how many times you do it?
For the plant,
Yeah?
we make like 3 times. 3 times 1 plant.
3 times.
Yeah, 1 plant.
And then after, you leave the plant growing and you sell the bud.
Yes, and it,
So you actually have 2 times
3
benefits of 3 times of this plant. And how many different ways of smoking do you have of the charas here?
no, not only chillum split, some just light it and inhale.
Smell it with paperclip.
Yeah, I like that, you know.
And you like that?
Yeah, it's good.
Yes.
Because before the local blend would be take 6 months to grow.
Yes.
Now these hybrid that come from Europe, 3 months and they are ready.
Yes.
Strong, potent, but when they are in Jamaica with the Jamaican earth and sunlight, they are much better and stronger than what you get in
Europe.
Yeah.
You guys
Exactly.
don't have to gift anymore.
And every 3 years you have to buy new seeds because then it dilutes with the local bushwheat?
Most likely.
Most likely, yeah? This is what happened, huh?
Yeah, depends on how you cultivate your plant, how
Yeah.
you...
But after 3-4 years you have to get new seeds. You have to start over again.
Yes, yes.
So how many hours a day you rub?
As long as sunlight, sometimes 8 hours a day.
8 hours a day.
Yeah, as long as there's sun.
Yeah, it's a hard job.
Yeah, but there are a lot of other jobs out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's a nice job doing something getting high.
So the organic farmers have created a really, really nice way of making extra money for themselves and their families to send their children to school and to buy the necessary groceries like salt and sugar by creating another product called charas here in Jamaica and having the benefit of making now 2 products of 1 plant.
So how many grams is 1 hand?
Depends on the...
2?
No, depends on the sunlight.
Yes.
If more sunlight, there's more grams. You can get up to 20 grams on 1 hand.
You can get up to 20 grams on 1 hand?
Yes.
For how long you work for 20 grams on 1 hand?
Probably half hour.
Half hour to an hour.
If the sun was very, very hot.
But you don't see people doing it all over Jamaica, eh?
No, they don't know the culture. It's here in the mountains.
Only here in the mountains.
We have this culture for ourselves.
Yes. And it's only in this area where it happens, the good one.
We make good charas.
Yeah.
Because here the ganja has more gums than any.
Tell her that the bad things of lose it, and the good things, come and choose it. Be yourself in these times.
And how long is this happening here, making charas in the mountains?
It's been here from over 50, 60 years.
50, 60 years? So you learned it from your father and that before. That how long charas making is happening?
I knew my grandfather planting ganja in these mountains.
And making charas?
And making charas. Yeah.
Where did it come before? Where do you think your great-grandfather learned it from? You have any idea?
Africa.
Africa? Yeah. But which part, you think?
Ghana, Gambia, Gold Coast, all of them places, the ganja in them places. Ganja all over the world, you know.
You think from West Africa?
You see, hashish is really what I call Arab word, you know.
Yeah, assassin come from there.
Yeah. So they make hashish with them, but we usually smoke our ganja as ganja, but they make hashish from there for export to Europe possible, or, you know, easier transportation, and they usually smoke the hashish.
Yes.
For if you do, hashish is different from charas.
Yeah.
Hashish is combined with other mixtures with other things. Hashish is brown.
Yeah, and made from dead plant. This is made from a live plant. This is the big difference.
Yes.
Now we are true like survivors. Yes, like survivors. Yeah, we have to look the food is for the child. Yes, like survivors. Yes, the child from the longest fight.
Shanty and singer.
Yo, really good taste.
And them for no Ashanti, representing for the mothers, yeah.
When you go strain hunting, there's gotta be also some relaxing moments. We walk a lot, we don't sleep much, the food is sometimes a bit irregular, and after 2, 3, 4, 5 days of this rhythm, you also need to take a little bit of a rest. And for us in Jamaica, the rest was the jungle spa.
My mama was there cooking butter and dumpling, one soup and could not find pumpkin. Me say she said us go to school, so could not be no dumb thing. No shanty come up on my goals and be confronting, and every day I will be crack. She teach me not to eat and not to touch. Tell your mama love is like a blessing from above. Teach me not to eat and not to touch. She really make me fly away just like a dove.
But with strain hunters, what we consciously try to do is to stay with local people and to stay in local hotels and local accommodation. And for the most part, that's for a number of reasons. One, because we're able to connect better with the people. But occasionally we find ourselves going to horrible, really horrible, or being forced to stay in really horrible hotels and accommodation like that. So we did have to do that one night, and it was actually really good for us to see the other side of Jamaica, to see the Jamaica that they try to portray for the tourists, which is very different to the real thing which we get to experience.
Yeah. Hot. Let them know, yeah.
Real Charles.
So much them, daddy. Selassie.
How many of these you smoke a day?
Never stop, 21.
21.
And in night, 21 straight. If I herb, I don't stop burning right in night and the day. I man smoke till I man get certain knowledge of the smoking.
Yes.
I don't put it down. And it's a harmless, it's a blessed thing, the herb, I see. Yes, this thing, the government still never lock up people for this thing. This thing grow, we can go see it in the world, then we still make something out of it. If someone mad, this herb can bring him come again.
Yeah. In
the whole world, we're talking about smoking. No man tell us, smoking is the best. in the world. I see that.
And they smoke
Yeah. I don't want no bad boys around, just good boys at all time, the herb. We Rasta, far right, come to change it right now. Bob Marley. Yeah. And the future. You see the government in Jamaica? What they got from in Jamaica? You know why? What? If they free Rasta, Bob Marley, put him as a hero.
Yeah.
Then the world free. We are the end of the world.
Yeah, because not even a highway is named after him.
No. Yeah.
Not even a highway.
No,
no?
so nothing. Everything go to Rasta, everything go right down. Through Rasta.
How can it be that not even a highway is named after him?
Sin. 20 people to live, to survive. That is it.
When you travel, you experience. And when you experience the good and you experience the bad at the same time. It's very interesting, it's a learning process. And for me, this learning process culminated in 9 Mile. 9 Mile is the mausoleum of Bob Marley, is where Bob Marley has been put to rest in 1981 after his death. I always kept in my heart a very romantic image of it. I always thought that 9 Miles would have been a very spiritual place, linked to the real image and the real meaning behind Bob Marley. And when we got there and we realized that we were actually entering a Disneyland-style operation, it was very disappointing.
Hear me out, yeah. Why you fight against me, herbs? Speak up. Because me there, so I hold me vibes and no guns, me no pizza.
When we went to Black River, we definitely encountered one of the most special and spectacular environments in all of Jamaica. Black River is a very swampy area. There's even crocodiles crawling around in the salty waters all over the place. And the fields there are not really fields, are more like islands in the middle of the swamp. We took little canoes and we started going down the river, looking for spots, looking for grow areas. And we had the chance, thanks to 2 or 3 local guys that were really connected with our guides, we had the chance to access these very small patches, but incredible technique. I mean, what these guys are doing in the swamps is seriously impressive. They are building bricks, literally building bricks using the mud and the root system of the plants growing in the swamps. They chop these big square bricks. They probably weigh 20, 30 kilos per brick. They fish them out of the water, pile them up, one on top of the other, until they build a real island in the swamp.
And can you grow the whole year around?
No rainfall.
No rainfall when you make this?
Yes.
Otherwise it's too difficult.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We are in the peak, so to speak, of our water.
It's basically natural hydroponics. That's basically what it comes down to. They allow the cannabis plant to grow at full contact with the water. The natural system of the swamps provides nutrients and water to the plants. So it's a very self-sufficient, very guerrilla-style way of growing.
Only in the Mekong Delta in Vietnam they do also a little bit like this.
Yeah, I knew that. Right?
Mekong Delta, a lot of rivers, they grow in the water there.
Yes, yes.
You ever have problem with fungus, mold?
A lot.
A lot?
Yeah.
How many times a year can you plant? 4 times, 5 times?
12 times. 12 months.
12 months.
12 months. you push about, you send out your resume 4, 5, 6, 7 years. Still waiting.
Yeah.
Still waiting.
Yeah, they're not coming?
God bless.
Yeah, man, God bless.
God bless. also one of the most remarkable things that I've only have seen 1 or 2 times before in life is that they have all their little alive seed banks. And we walked into this field and I saw all the different phenotypes and they're all just standing there. And he explained that this was their seed bank for all their local farmers. He was taking care of them. They had a few of those seed bank pins, we can call them. They were not too big, but they had all the phenotypes of them and they share their seeds. And exactly this gives you the idea that how easy and how strong this variety of cannabis is. So you basically can preserve a seed bank by keeping it alive.
Is this the original one or is it one of the phenotypes? Has there ever been an original one?
This is the original.
Original lamb's bread. What is the difference between lamb's bread and the rest? Why is lamb's bread so famous?
Because of the flavor.
Okay.
If you can smell it has a special fragrance.
Yes.
That's different from, you can compare.
Yeah.
My grandfather had this strain of ganja. I born and saw my grandfather planting ganja and his father before him. So that's why we know it's part of the natural creation. We have to preserve the nature. It's our seed bank, it's our pharmacy, it's our home, it's our whole life. These lands you see here, it's the blood, sweat and veins of our ancestors.
Yeah. If you grow one crop, you move every year you move or every 2 years? How do you work?
7 years, every 7 years, sabbatical.
A sabbatical, also here, okay. So
6 years you grow and 1 year rest.
The lamb's bread, huh? From you have any idea where those seeds original came from?
Came from like Westmoreland, people in
Westmoreland.
They were the first people.
Okay. What year? Which years?
In the 1980s.
In the 1980s already.
Yes. We also try to build seed bank by getting these seeds.
Yes.
And incorporate them with our seeds.
Yes.
And bring different varieties.
Yes.
So sometimes you look, we have 10 different varieties of
Yes.
ganja in one field.
So what's the benefit for you to have 10 different varieties, medicinal?
Because originally ganja is a plant that for 12 months it bear 12 different crops.
Yes.
So that means if you have 12 different crops, you have 12 different type of ganja, 12 different taste, 12 different vibration.
Yes. How many seeds you take off of this field? Few buckets.
Yeah, right now he has about 4 buckets.
4 buckets?
Yes.
Oh, that's a lot of
Yes.
seed.
And still planting other places why we don't keep one field. Because
You have different seed bank fields.
Yeah, different fields, different
Yes.
places. This was the first place in Jamaica and the only place people had ganja like all along where they could come and get ganja. All the ganja came from this part of the mountains.
What is very interesting to see in Jamaica is that there is no real division or real separation between the use of cannabis and religion. And it's the only country in the world where most of the population agrees on the use of cannabis as a sacrament, as a religious help, as a way to communicate with the spirits, with God, with Jah, and as a way to meditate and as a way to feel one with the planet, one love, as Bob Marley used to say.
And how is the government here in Jamaica with the plants?
They want to kill it and them want to have it. For them have their own private plantation.
But they all smoke?
Of course, but in private.
Yeah.
And play hypocrites. The parsons in Jamaica smoke. The preacher, the police, the judge, all of them smoke. You can you find out how much ganja a Jamaican smoke per day?
That's a good question.
You know, I would like a survey to run.
I would say 10 grams.
Average. 10 grams?
No ways, man. People are
Oh
doing
my
3
man.
grams.
Hey, you are disrespecting a Jamaican smoker.
And then they're putting a gram of like...
You guys smoke an ounce per person per day, minimum.
Hounds?
Minimum.
Hounds?
Minimum.
More.
Look at this man. You see when I have all a bag like this.
That's your morning stash.
My morning stash. It's your daily food, man. Right through the day we have it like this. Only when we eating and sleeping, it was with ganja.
This is your morning stash.
The morning stash.
Respect.
You know, see it?
It would be nice if the government comes up with some kind of solution for these little farmers and maybe make a cooperative of those little farmers and they can sell them from cooperative shops in little villages where they can create backpackers hotels like they do in Thailand and other places in Asia. I think they should do that in the Caribbean, in St. Vincent. They should do that in Jamaica. You protect your own local farmer. You give them a share of the cooperative through a shop in a little village. So they all have these kind of micro credits that they are living on. And it would be very, very easy for a big part of the world to organize this and get their green tourism going.
So this is Pura Vida.
Pura vida.
Jamaica was one of the highlights of my strain hunter trips. You heard a lot of different stories, of course, about Jamaica. Well, every country has its social problems, but fortunately for Jamaica, there are a lot of good things. There's a very, very friendly environment. If you go into the mountains, you meet very, very friendly people. You find a lot of good different phenotypes of cannabis plants all around the island.
Wow.
So I would really, really encourage everybody to go and take a holiday on Jamaica. And don't go to the big resorts, but go to the local areas and hang out there.
Hot. Red. I live on red. Yeah. The doctor.
The doctor?
Chicks. You know?
Who's the doctor? Any doctor?
Any doctor.
Oh, any doctor.
Not any Chicks.
Yes.
You have to be careful that guy.
You have to be careful for him.
I don't want to be careful that guy. Yeah. Let's have good food. Yeah. Let's keep away from a doctor.
Hey, Scoopy, you smoke alone or what?
You from?
I first had my contact with the Swazi weed when I was living in London in 1997, and I remember buying Swazi weed there and really enjoying the smoke. And after that, I didn't really have the chance to grow this plant or to see it anymore. And finally, a few years ago, me and Aryan decided, hey, Swaziland should be on top of the list for our strain hunter missions, because it's one of the most famous cannabis producing country, one of the largest producers in Africa, even though it's one of the smallest. It's a friendly country, and the cannabis that comes from Swaziland is worldwide famous. So we slowly developed this mission, and we sent Simon to scout about 4 months ago, and he spent quite an extensive period of time on the territory, on the field, with a few other guys, and prepared the mission for us. So here we are, Swaziland 2012.
Mamma mia! That's a nice tree, dude. That's a nice tree.
That's beautiful green.
It's like a huge cross of everything. As a connoisseur, as a strain hunter, you always rush into the fields because you want to see all the marijuana. And this time we decided to stay on the rock and have a good look from above. Also, the reason we did this is that you see a lot of different phenotypes here in Swaziland. So if you sit from a little distance away, you can very well see the field.
Look at these ones here on the right.
Yeah.
And you move over and there's a dark
And you
patch
see some
of
big buds sometimes in the mix.
Yeah.
Like you had big heads, really.
So see, the more you go outside, the more yellow it gets.
Yeah.
Let's go into it, eh?
Look at this. Completely pink.
Everyone smells to puke.
Very puke.
Here, smell this one.
That's very strong.
Yeah?
Dude.
Ugh.
It's also a bit like almost Malawi and
what is that?
Something to this plant. Very, very beautiful plants. The field was a mixed field, sativa and skunk mixed together, or sativa and indica, but very nice and a very, very great start to the day.
Swaziland is a different picture compared to other African countries. People are very organized. There is a very easy environment compared to other parts of Southern Africa. The climate is milder, the soil is richer and very fertile.
You guys plant close, huh? Yo, yo, yo. You're pushing it, huh? Where you get the genetics? You replant your own seeds?
I
collect it around.
Yes.
From somebody.
But you take out the good seeds from the big plants, or you just do
For
random,
next year.
or you mix?
Yeah, we just mix.
You just mix.
Very sativa.
Also, it's a lot of seeds, they don't pull the males here. Look, that's funny. You see?
Same system as Malawi, yeah?
Yeah. What's the reason they grow so many plants in one spot here?
Okay. It's a mix just in case one dies.
Okay, they have more.
They have more.
We noticed in the second field that the technique they used to plant was very similar to what we previously saw in Malawi quite a few years ago. 10, maybe 12, maybe 15 seeds in one place, one spot, and then just made the strongest survive, basically. And this is a technique that in one way can be a saver because there's always one or two good plants that survive the group. But on the other hand, in a place where the climate is not so extreme, such as Swaziland, we felt that the growers that select one or two plants at the time for planting are doing the better job.
Very good, guys. Beautiful field.
Beautiful buds. This is far, right? This is like getting ready.
Yeah. Look at this.
Whoa, man. Skunky and sativish at the same time. Really good.
Also, that's skunking blind drain, eh?
Yeah, full on. Full on.
You do really good here. Wow, this one smells particular, man.
Yeah, more sativish a bit.
So, we can say that Swaziland is the champion of Africa.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
At the moment, I have to say it's impressive what I'm seeing here, quality-wise.
And good farming, little patches, eh?
Yeah, well taken care. The variety of genetics was quite impressive. It was a very big mix of high-grade seeds from Europe and from America, mixed with the local Swazi genetics, probably watered down already a few generations, but it was immediately clear that this is not a small game, that these people are growing great bud and they're doing it very effectively.
How are you, man?
I'm cool, man.
Huh?
I am Irie, man.
Irie.
That's the
You
fun.
see, his name is Smart. He's doing a smart job.
Okay. So we call him Smart.
And this one is Manga. Surprise.
Manga is
Yeah,
surprise.
surprise. You
So
see?
we have a smart surprise here.
Smart surprise.
Yes.
They're doing a wonderful
But you guys
job.
are very good growers, huh? There's not much seeds in it, huh? You guys take out the plant with the seeds?
We put the males out, then leave the females.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Before they start flowering.
So you grow marijuana with no seeds?
No, yeah, seedless.
Seedless. How long you have the seeds of this field?
2 years.
2 years.
2 years.
And you know where you got them from?
The other guy comes in Joburg.
From Joburg.
Really good.
We had to get them up at 4 a.m. basically to get into a field really, really early in the morning. The reason being is that it was in a commercial pine forest and we had to basically get there before anyone was up. So we left early, we did about a 45-minute drive, we arrived just before 5 a.m. we took a walk.
We get into the forest and not too far away from where we leave the car we find this amazing field. It was gigantic, it was probably the largest field we saw during this trip.
Frank, come look at this bud, mate. You can see how beautiful it is. It's really, really beautiful. Look at this, mate.
Wow.
Look how nice it's built up. All the. Look how wide, man. This is high grade, man. Look at this. Look how wide. There's no mold, nothing. It's completely clean. Look. That's the bud of the day, guys.
Yeah.
Award-winning plant. But look how high this plant is, man. Because I'm 2 meters nearly. Look.
Amazing.
The
That's
plant's
4
4 meters.
Yeah.
Yo, look at that leaf. That's... Wow, what you smell, eh, Frank?
It's fruity, eh, this one. Much fruitier than the rest. Yeah. Beautiful.
It's a nice plant, man. I like the smell.
Yes.
Look, these seeds are good. Look, they're fine. You see? They're nice and brown. They're already healthy. You keep them in a pot dry, and you can put them out when you like. And then you only take the seeds from the really good plants, and you put them out. And you will see next year, every time you do that, in 3-4 years, you will only have this.
Yeah?
Yes. If you can control it.
Yeah.
Your patches are not too big, because here you have 1 hectare, no? This is 2,000 plants? Yeah, this is big, eh?
The genetics were impressive. It was very mixed, a little bit more high grade than the previous day we saw. Less Swazi in the genetics, more foreign influence, more Amsterdam influence and California influence. And they were loaded with buds. The resin also was very, very impressive. We arrived early in the morning, so the plants were still wet, shining. And when the first rays of the sun came up on the field, it was like glittering, like diamonds in this buds. It was fantastic. Only outdoor resin can have that particular glow with the sunlight. It's something so cosmetic and so beautiful.
We also got to meet the growers living out in the bush, which was really nice. It was nice to connect with them, to gain knowledge from them, to pass a bit of the knowledge that we could across. Really soldiers living out in the bush, amazing guys, big smiles on their faces.
What are you guys eating? Can you show?
Mealy meal juice.
Mealie meal juice.
Yeah, gives lots of energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you know, maize is the Swazi staple food.
Yes.
Yeah.
How many places in Africa there do they eat this? Because you see them
Everywhere.
everywhere.
Right.
Eh?
Yeah. That
And you eat it in the morning or you eat it during the whole day?
The whole day it keeps you going.
Yeah.
Want to try
why
some?
not? Yeah, I would like to try some.
In Swaziland, you taste first before giving somebody else. Because you don't know, maybe there's, what do you call it, poison. Maybe I want to poison you, so I must...
You must try it. This is
I
the
must try it
tradition in
first.
Swaziland.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really nice. Thank you, man.
Don't use that. Don't use
No sugar, eh? Very good. Don't use sugar, man. This is nice, huh? Just drink the whole thing.
There's nothing combo.
You're hungry or what? Good.
It was impressive to notice also the irrigation technique. They had to pump, they had to bring the water from over 2 kilometers away with piping, plastic piping, without the use of pumps or electricity, exclusively with gravity.
Mostly irrigation is done by hand with watering cans, and very, very occasionally you might find a pump. But in Swaziland, what really blew us away was the network of agricultural piping. Everywhere you go, people are very, very advanced in this level. Many years ago, they realized that water was essential to the equation, and you find a network of pipes feeding water by gravity to the fields. You can also see that this is basically also transferred and rubbed off and helped people in other ways. Swaziland's the first country where we also see, because of the irrigation, that there's also water to homesteads. So people developed the gravity feed systems to feed their fields, and now you find basically water flowing all over the kingdom to houses as well.
And we grow this, we started long time ago because, you know, the people, it helps us to pay school fees.
Yeah.
Everything that we need.
How many families in total will benefit of one field like this? This is 1 hectare with 2,000 plants roughly, no? So, rough estimation, how many families?
30, even 30 families, because it keeps on, you know, from
Because one guy brings the money home, no?
Yeah. Everybody cut his own share.
Yeah, everybody gets his own share.
Yeah.
Did somebody ever say something in the government about how big this crop is compared to other agriculture crops?
Yeah, they do say it. Because like Swaziland's also got lots of sugarcane plantations.
Yes, or mealie.
Yeah, so the motto, like when they advertise the sugar, they say Swazi gold. But people laugh and say the really Swazi gold. You know what's the
It's
really
the
Swazi
ganja.
gold? Yeah.
So, it's not the sugar cane, it's the ganja.
Yeah, it's not the sugar cane.
But they call the sugar cane the Swazi gold.
Yeah, they call it the Swazi gold, the government. Yeah.
So you have any idea how many people in this country are working with marijuana?
Thousands. Yeah.
Thousands of people. How many people live in Swaziland? 1.2 million, huh?
Yeah.
Cannabis is the cash crop of Swaziland, and is the only crop that can really guarantee school fees and housing and a decent living standard to basically the majority of the rural population of the country.
Next to one of the fields, they were growing a whole field, and they had all the plants in little nice pots. So we were wondering, you know, small 10-liter pots, there's a lot of work. You have to water maybe once, in the hot summer maybe twice a day. So we spoke to the guy, said, why you do that?
Normally you cut out the bottom and put them in, but here not.
Yeah, the reason the bottom is not cut is when the cops come, the guys are able to take the plant and run away with it.
Undoubtedly you would do some root damage, but you could probably save your plant if you had advance warning that the police were coming.
You see, the anti-drug squad, they used to come here to check. They use binoculars. After checking, they don't destroy at the same time. After checking, they come maybe after 2 days. then it gives you time to take the pods and even the whole field. And
yes, or you can put it somewhere else. So, if a grower puts like this field here in the ground, you will put some in bags to make sure they have food and money.
You cannot destroy all your crops.
No, okay, so this is partly we work like this.
plan.
But this is the first backup plan I've ever seen that you can run with your plants outdoor. Think about that, huh?
New method.
It's a new method.
New method.
So where this method came from? Who started with this idea, running away with the plants?
The farmers, they used to think, because most of the time, I think maybe 10 years back, they used to, the evil forces, they were using helicopters from South Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah, they using helicopters, they destroy everything. Then after that, they discovered that maybe they can use this thing so that they can take it, hide it somewhere. And like destroying your whole crops.
It is only after the passing of King Sobhuza II in 1982. The use of helicopters really has almost destroyed the economy of the people.
King Sobhuza II died in 1982, and that marked a change in the enforcement efforts of the government. In 2000, from 2000 to 2005 was a very, very dark period in Swazi growing history. It saw the beginning of an aerial eradication program by the US government, and involved the spraying of a product called Monsanto from helicopters onto fields. This decimated the production at the time to a point where even local seeds become unavailable. And what villages and areas were doing at the time to make up for that was that one area would be raided by the helicopters and sprayed. It wouldn't even have seeds for the next crop, and so they would borrow from another area in Swaziland. So that is actually probably the biggest reason why, the biggest cause of the genetics disappearing was the spraying program.
Okay, and those evil forces, no more helicopters for the moment?
Yeah, they ban them because they destroy everything, even the trees.
Okay.
The nursery, the next generation. What are these, eh?
Simpson Kush.
Simpson Kush. Simpson Kush.
Yeah.
Simpson Kush from the States. And are the seeds legal or illegal in Swaziland?
Yeah, it's illegal because you remember that man who got arrested for like 3 kilos of seeds.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What happened to him?
Okay, what they used to do in the old days, if they get arrested and the quantity is above 3 kilos, you didn't get bail at the time. But now things have changed. Yeah, they used to first weigh it.
And even the MPs, members of parliament, right now they are trying to decriminalize it, you know.
They're trying to decriminalize it in the parliament, so that's very good then. But that's maybe the first country in Africa then, because I never heard this before. Yeah.
Even there are people living next to the king that they are smoking the ganja. They are not even being disturbed or even arrested. You know? No. And next to the royal crown, you know, they plant
planting seeds,
some few plants so that they can smoke.
In
and
the
then
garden.
good for the regiments.
Yeah.
Even today, the king's crows, the warriors, they still smoke.
And are they also growing
And
that?
they are growing it, and nobody can attack them. When they start smoking in the morning, then they're praising all the kings, all the ancestors. It is such a ceremony where everybody gets really built up with great motivation for what they're going to do. Because they were ready to go and fight, they were now ready.
Simon made the planning for our trip very, very effective. We We didn't waste any time. Every day we were full. We had 2-3 locations a day. So we drove on to the second field and we went for a walk, a nice walk in the forest to reach one of the most beautiful sceneries that we got in our mission. It was this field overlooking the valley, and at the bottom of the valley this huge lake and the river. It was beautiful. It was incredibly stunning.
Nice, huh?
Yeah.
Strawberry haze like this one.
Yeah.
Orangey, lemony, like tangerine.
You see the color of the plants here also?
Yeah.
Let's go have a look at that little plant there.
This is a thick one, man. Production, mama. Wow, full of resin.
Wow, you see how hard this one is?
Yeah. Although it's quite...
It has the same look as the leaf structure of this Iron Haze tree.
Yeah, it's also in the smell woody and a bit spicy. Not so special, I have to say, in the smell.
No, nothing special, but look at
But the production is
See the leaves, how slim?
Yeah.
Wow. Man, this is more interesting smell than this little one.
Yeah.
Phew. Spicy.
Look
Wow,
here, this
man.
one's close to strawberry.
Man,
Right? Can you smell
woody.
this one, Frank? Same structure.
Hey man, there's a lot of genetics in this country. I'm surprised. I didn't expect so much variety of stuff in Swaziland, honestly. It's really special.
Walking up to the field, we found a couple of drying spots where the local guys were manicuring and taking care of the dry material. It was very cool to see. On the way back, we stop and have this really relaxed moment, this joint moment on a rock overlooking this beautiful panorama. And we had a very interesting conversation with Russ, one of our guides, and with one of the local growers. Again, confirmation of the fact that cannabis is one of the plants that help the poorest people on the planet live above the poverty line. He confirmed again to us that without the major cash crop, this country would really be in trouble, and the people would not be able to send the children to school and to live on a decent level. What types of marijuana grow best? What types of skunk? Like white widow or haze, or a little bit strains that you try?
We can grow any because we're not novice.
You can grow any strains.
And our climate is okay.
So when you start in summer, what time you start to plant? Is it September or October?
Just depend on your seeds, on the quality of seeds that you have.
Really?
So where do you get your seeds from?
We just ask from the neighbors and friends.
From the neighbors, you share the seeds?
Yes.
So, but when you say it depends on the seeds, so if you had the Swazi seeds, when do you plant the Swazi seeds?
October, November.
And the new seeds, these new cross indica?
Anytime.
Anytime?
Anytime.
So it's
Even later, so you can plant November, January.
And the original Swazi you only can plant, so you say November, December, and when or October even.
Yes.
And when would you harvest?
April.
April. So it's October, April plant. That's the original Swazi. You still grow it or not?
Swazi?
Yeah.
No. We don't have animals pure Swazi here. It's a cross.
It's a cross. With all over Swaziland or this area?
This area we don't have Swazi anymore.
This area.
But you know that there is still places where they grow the real Swazi, or?
There's another guy who told me about that, but I don't believe that.
You don't believe it in this area?
No, in this area we don't have it.
But you also don't believe it's in an area still there?
No, I don't believe it. Not unless I can see the seeds and I can plant it.
How many families are involved with ganja in Swaziland?
Everyone.
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 How long are they growing in this area?
It's like been grown since the beginning, especially with the Swazi people. It's been a traditional culture to smoke ganja before the arrival of the colonists.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a very long time ago.
That's
We're talking
quite
about a few hundred years ago.
From the beginning.
In these areas, there's evidence of people, of Bantu people even earlier. Hey?
That's right. Yeah. We're referring to some people, like the Khoisan, Khoi and the San.
Yeah.
And later on, there were the Sudi people.
How did people smoke in those days?
Those days they used like horns.
Horn?
Yeah, horn.
A horn from
yeah,
animal.
The horn. Yeah, there's a pong, there's a pipe, like a pong.
That's how they smoke.
That's how they smoke.
And they still do that in some areas or not?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
We've got quite an influence with the Western culture, because they've got the razors and peppers, something like that.
Yes.
So Rizzo's taken over and...
Rizzo's taking over the old horns.
It's gone.
But also in Swaziland, you only get a fine when you get arrested.
Yeah, definitely.
Nobody go to jail. You can bail yourself out if you have money. So that's good from the government. The government understand that you guys depend on this crop.
Yeah. This is a game, eh?
Again, it's a game.
It's just a game, yeah.
Our law, our constitution is wonderful. We have two laws in Swaziland on cannabis. One is a 1922 Act, which is called the Opium and Habit-Forming Drugs, and that act says, defines cannabis as a habit-forming
I'm looking forward to
drug.
it. It has good reviews,
This
apparently.
law on cannabis
It's
was
really
made
hopeful. I'm really excited, man. And
by
it's close to everything. It's right in the
Britain
middle of the country, the high-speed
under
rail.
the
Apparently it's like
instigation
3-hour
of
high-speed to Hong
cotton
Kong.
farmers in Egypt.
Might be like
Cotton
4 or 5
farmers in
hour
Egypt.
high-speed to
Who didn't
Shanghai.
want to...
Afraid of hemp.
We were afraid of hemp.
When was this?
You can go west or north.
1922.
Okay, so it
It's
has an
amazing
economic
location.
reason that the
terms of
law is
all of China,
implemented
like
in
tourists,
1921-22 in Swaziland.
That's correct. There's a reason. The reason was
being on the
was
ocean is
that
always
the
the best.
cotton farmers in Egypt
to protect them.
wanted to protect themselves from cannabis. So they said, okay, let's pass this law for the whole British Empire, so that no country under the British Empire
It was
can
seen as a-
compete with our cotton. There is another section 20 of the Constitution, which says that a law that has been created, enacted because of discrimination, no parliament is competent to pass a law like that. So any law that brings about discrimination,
It's
like this law,
unconstitutional to
it's
discriminate in any
unconstitutional.
way,
So
yeah.
in Swaziland, it's null and void. So all we have to do when we go to court, we're just going to ask the court to confirm that this law, in fact, does not exist in this country because of our constitution. And that is what we have to do.
So there's such a strong, powerful plant here that has all this cultural history. Is this also what you're bringing into the court case to fight the old colonial law? Like this plant is so important, it has cultural valuables, and it should be legalized here in Swaziland.
That is one of the reasons, in fact,
Yes.
which I am going to put forward. But the major one, which the courts will understand, because I mean they don't care about our traditional religion.
No.
They don't care. If I bring it, say, in Swaziland that we need to have this, that because of our cultural requirements, they would just look at me and say, hey, he's crazy. There are many people who say that we are 100% behind you, 99% of the people of Swaziland are supporting you.
Yes.
But nobody is prepared to come out in the open
No.
and say, look, we are together. Let's go to court. Or let's go to there. Let's do that. Even the growers themselves.
Yes.
I've asked the growers and said, look here. I said to them, look here. Anyone who gets arrested because of being in possession of cannabis, he must phone me immediately. I'll go to court and represent him free of charge.
Yes.
I mean, I'll give evidence because I'm not a lawyer by
No.
profession, but I can give evidence
Yes.
in court.
Yes.
They just don't want. They all run away. There is no way we can fail in court to abolish the cannabis laws because they are totally against human rights and they are illegal in themselves.
Dr. Ben Dlamini is a very well-known Swazi activist for marijuana. He spent many years working tirelessly towards the cause. There's a deliberate attempt by the media in Swaziland to portray him as a bit of a crazy old man, but when you spend just 5 minutes with him, you realize that he's just a wealth of information.
the day we have cannabis freed in Swaziland, everybody in this country will become a millionaire. Not just the very few who are bold to grow cannabis in the bush, but if we are growing it right in the public, everyone will be a millionaire.
We headed north of the Maguga Dam and we connected with a Rastafarian called Skoro, who's a carver, a wood carver. He knew a number of growers in the area and connected us with them.
We went to his house and we looked at him performing this fine craftsmanship. It's art that is probably getting lost, and it's beautiful to see how people can, just using a simple knife, they can make something so beautiful. It's truly an art.
In my carving, this is my main tool. I use it when I start my carving.
Yes.
So I use this one to do the whole face and the whole thing. I start with this one.
Okay.
And then after this one, just use the knife.
Okay.
To make it smooth, it's only to use the knife, and all the shapes, you just use the knife, and then after the knife, you just get a sanding paper.
Very nice Rastafarian man, beautiful wood statues and objects. And this guy took us up to his place and then walked us down to a beautiful field. On the walk we stopped by a school, hundreds of children in their uniforms, very typical African school, and they were all looking at us like they never saw a white person before or something. But it was really nice to see how the children there are very joyful, very welcoming. They're not afraid of strangers. They're very innocent, more innocent than developed countries' children.
Whoa, guys, be careful. Look at this.
Very
Sativa girls.
The terrain was again different from what we'd experienced before. And immediately we could see that there was it was a really sativa dominant field and very, very Swazi.
Look how big they are, eh? But you see, he's got two fields separate. He's got the Swazi field and he's got like this mixed little kind of high grade, what they call it here.
Even that side is more Swazi than stuff.
Yeah, but you can see how his good stuff is diluted again by the local stuff.
Yeah,
eh?
absolutely.
This is nearly 3 meters, guys.
Yeah, there you have 5 meters right there.
But it comes close to the Malawi, eh?
Look.
Eh?
Yeah, very, very close in the structure, absolutely.
And look how many times they've pinched this one here. Look
Yeah.
at this one.
Yeah, super mega pinching.
I've never seen so many pinched.
Well, they do it because they want to keep them bushier than normally
Two
would,
plants,
would be.
yeah, but
Because
this is-
otherwise, if it really shoots up like in the real structure, you see what happens there. Go 5 meters this thing.
Yeah, but
It's
you see how
incredible.
many, yeah. So you think it's also a way of stopping the growth?
Absolutely.
Yeah, 2 weeks they stop, eh?
Absolutely.
We knew immediately in the moment we walked between the first plants that we were onto something closer to what we are looking for in this country. The real Swaziland genetics, the one that was really the goal and the purpose of this mission to recover. It was not really 100%. We are quite sure that there was still some influence from outside genetics, but definitely the structure of the plants and the type and the smell and the way they looked, and it was definitely closer to the real Swazi genetic.
So what we have here, this is...
Well, they've gone a bit further than normal tipping. They've
Yeah.
actually split the stem physically and twisted it.
Yeah.
Damn.
To attempt to basically, this is used to lower the profile
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
plant,
yeah,
and they believe it.
This is what you guys do here to hide it better?
Yeah.
And
Do you put a rock on the branch sometimes to hold it down?
No,
to the
no,
ground?
no. You can't put the rock. Just once you split it, and then you just come on top of it like this.
Oh, you step on it?
Yeah, you step on
Okay,
it.
and you let it grow also in other plants to hide it better around your house, is what you say?
Camouflage mixed with other.
For
camouflage,
yeah,
to
yeah,
make it
yeah,
lower.
yeah, it's for camouflage. Like people when they come in, never not discover easily.
The growers split the plant at the third, fourth internode, and then they split it a second time So they create very bushy plants, very strong, solid branching, and they have to do this because the genetic is closer to the Swazi. So if they don't do it, the plants shoot up 6, 7, 8 meters, and that is really not an effective way to grow because they would break in the storms with the wind. So very flexible and very smart growers in this country.
On the way we see little fields with all kinds of vegetables and pumpkins and everything. And he's explaining us that sometimes they have to stay for a while in those mountains here.
The guys, they plow the pumpkins here so that when the time for harvest,
yes.
So they get the food here, they just get the pumpkin here, and then sometimes they grab the leaves.
Yeah.
But the top of the leaves, while the top of the leaves they are fresh, so they get the leaves and then they mix with the pumpkin. Sometimes they put mealie meal or they put oil and
mealie meal.
Yeah, mealie meal.
Okay.
Do something like pap. Yeah.
So in time of harvest you have food on the side.
Oh, already had food on that side, so that while it's hard to get back at home, so it's easy to plow food here and get everything right at the fields.
Very efficient.
Yeah.
It was very interesting to see how the guys there, the local growers, they use the hot rocks to dry their cannabis. So the rock is exposed to the sun the whole day. It gets extremely hot by the first hours of the afternoon. And then at the end of the day, the guys bring their wet buds and they just lay them on the rocks and dry them there. And they told us that that way they can manage to dry a crop in 2 to 3 days. So very effective for them. And then we went on, we walked down to the waterfall. Along the side of the waterfall, down steep rocks, and we reached the bottom. There was a pool and a beautiful fall. And we jumped in, Aryan and myself. We had a very refreshing session after the long day. And it's always a magic moment during the Strain Hunters expeditions when we can find one of these beautiful pools in the middle of nowhere and just chill out for 10 minutes, 15 minutes in the water and just refresh our bodies, refresh our spirit, our minds, and go on like new again. We went and took the nicest walk of the whole trip along these river banks. Beautiful scenery, the big rocks, the water clean and fresh, and we walked up looking for this great field that we were supposed to find. Once we arrive at the field, our hearts fill up with joy because we knew immediately that we did it, that we found the original Swazi.
The real Swazi. This is it. This is it. Mild, woody.
Not many seeds in it, they pull the males here, eh?
Yeah, for sure.
A little woody, eh?
A little woody, a little spicy, but mild, not very intense.
No. Slim buds.
Also in this real Swazi field, original Swazi field, we noticed that most of the big plants were already harvested. So what was left there was actually the later part of the crop, and the ones that were planted a little bit delayed. But it was astonishing quality. It was incredible to see the same plants that we already saw in the scouting footage that Simon and Dave produced for us.
Do you think people are going to be happy with Landrace Swazi if we look at this like this?
Yeah, I mean, the old school smokers love the Swazi, the original. Yeah,
We should take some seeds of these ones, eh?
absolutely. Especially the people that smokes from the 70s that have this kind of weed in their culture when they were young. They still appreciate it a lot, really.
Look, the sativa seeds, the small black seeds.
Yeah.
A male and a female.
Male and a female.
I spoke to them.
Yes.
The field was quite big. The plants were very lanky, skinny, long sativas, the same type of sativas that we found in Malawi previously. Different in the smell, I would say more minty, more spicy, a little bit more mellow, less intense. It's a kind of weed that doesn't have that overpowering intensity in the smell. Nevertheless, it's very complex, and it's really the type of sativa that the old school smoker and the old school connoisseurs can appreciate.
It's spicy.
Yeah, it is a little.
Huh?
Not much bud, but a lot of
plants
flavor.
again. You see the just growing each other.
Yeah.
See that cut, cuts and cut and cut.
So original Swazi.
Ooh, again a little bit soapy. The soapy fino.
Yeah. Yeah.
Strange, eh?
Yeah, very strange.
But still relatively very low bud, eh?
Yeah, very low bud.
Very low bud.
But the structure is better than the Malawi. The Malawi were more tower, and these make far more branches.
But it's also close to the river. You see how these plants adapt with all these little buds for fungus and everything. But very uniform, this Swazi here.
This is the real Swazi, no doubt.
Yeah.
Also, another thing that we noticed in this field was that the presence of animals. There were a lot of caterpillars and quite a lot of grasshoppers and parasites, but this is normal considering the organic conditions in which the plants grow, and considering that the local growers don't really use any pest control. It's just natural, 100% organic, natural production. So it's part of the game of nature.
Yeah, lots of water, well organized watering, pipes and everything.
Also get with gravity from the top.
No pumps, no electricity, completely green. It's incredible.
And how far does it go up in this valley?
When you look on Google Earth, it's just dotted there. It's insane.
Is that all the dots we saw on Google Earth? That you see all those valleys?
And all these valleys and all the next valleys and on and on and on.
Doesn't stop. It's like a green avalanche, like California.
It doesn't stop.
Basically wherever there's water.
Yeah, wherever there's water.
Fabulous. Wow, this makes the mission a complete success.
I'm going to sign off. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Original Landrace, Swazi Gold.
You first ride again, and Electric Stash, thank you so much for the sub throw. You guys are the best. You guys are amazing. I'm going to be 40 on August 2nd. I'm going to be 40. I'm going to stream that day. I hope you from China. You will. I'm definitely going to be streaming the next few days too. I'm staying also.
In the morning, we find the local Sangorma woman here in the little village, the medicine woman, and we did a little session with her.
It's a local shaman. It's a woman who has magic powers, black magic, white magic, and she's able to mix potions and medicines, local medicine, natural medicines,